What's up, guys? Welcome back to Railway Empire 2. We are on the Industrial Miracle scenario, and this is part number 3. We're moving quite steadily here, guys, and I think it's doing really well. If you've joined me from part 2, we have just connected Dortmund to Bochum, and that is our next port of call. Port of progress. Bochum has got a nice warehouse in it with wood and everything like that, and it's doing all right, guys. It's doing all right. We've got a reserved a bit of land there as well. We're going to increase that to 2 trains running from that wood. I'm not sure 3 trains is needed. Let's just see. Yeah, number 4 has not been sent yet, so let's just leave it at 3. But our wood business is fairly busy. Let's delete that train. We are keeping things moving nicely. We've got a really nice setup going on here. So we should now start hopefully seeing some production of coal. I think, guys, a coking factory here is going to work. For the very simple fact that we can then start supplying there. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's go with that. So let's go switch industry. Let's go coking plant there. I think that is really going to benefit us, guys. And then I think potentially we could use copper wire up there as our next port of call. Let's see how much that would be. Let's buy that so we can produce chemicals, and then down there we'll also produce explosives as well. So let's have a look at the brewery up here. 478. Let's get that purchased and then destroyed, because we have got beer over here, and we just need to get wheat to it, which isn't too hard because we've got wheat here. $478, and we're not far off that, and we're not going to pay that for it anyway. We're going to pay less than 380, I reckon. Right, so we're going to have let's start getting connected up here, guys. And what I think I want to do is, oh wow, that's a hell of a lot of money, that line. Far too expensive. Okay, right, so yeah, we're going to start getting that connected. And what I think I'm going to do here is just open up the line a little bit so we can take more trains into this city. And through the city. Just wait for a bit more money to roll back in. So he's now started making coal up here, which is brilliant, which is what we need. Great stuff, guys. I'm just going to see how we're doing here with our bonds. They must be nearly paid off now. In fact, I've just messed up doing what I wanted to do there. We'll let that train leave. Right, let's just get this how I want this to be now. So we're going to do that to there. We need to be able to make these a lot more accessible now, these lines through the cities. So these stations aren't going to be, oh my god, massively important, but we're going to have the through traffic, which is what we'll need going forward. So I think we might as well get it right and get it right first sort of time now. So because the last thing we want to see is trains just getting clogged up for no reason. The money's not too much of an issue now. Yes, we're still pretty low, but you're going to start seeing some real movement in that very soon. And again, we'll just make sure it's right this end as well. Do it right and right first time, guys. Okay, right, so I think we then start supplying a train. We're just going to do one that goes between there and there. let's do the train that does that to sit on the third line, so that sits out of the way. And then a couple of trains that run up there to there. Cool. Right. So that's quite a busy line, that, guys. Let's put a fourth train on that and see if that helps. What we don't need to see between these, actually, is potatoes. And we don't need to see wood. Because we have potatoes and stuff in this one. I reckon we now put a third train on that. And a second train on that as well. Cool. Right. So we should start seeing this grow. Dortmund should also start doing okay. Right, we need to get wheat to Dortmund. So we need to figure out how we're going to get wheat up to Dortmund. Now, I think we actually probably need to look at another line running up to Dortmund. How much is that going to cost us? That's the question. 361. So we could run express and we could run goods. That could be a possibility. As per usual, we have our usual problems. Oh, it's so jumpy on the PS4, guys. So jumpy. Let's get that running in. See if we can't. We need to get this right. We need to get this running. And I think then we'll run goods and freight, guys. We'll do that. I think that's possibly one of the better ideas to do. So let's run that as goods up to Dortmund. Right, let's get a couple of freight trains running up there. Express trains, sorry. Right, I think now we're going to see easily beating that target for that. We've got wheat going up there. There we go. Nice and easy, guys. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is run a line now from Dortmund up to, well, through this train station for one. Money is absolutely flying in now, guys. So I'm not too concerned now. Up to Castle Rostrop, however you pronounce that. And then we're going to look at the next tasks, guys. We're going to see what is required of us to progress further now, because new tasks have just opened up, and we need to think about where we're going to be placing factories and stuff like that. So we're just going to get this right. And I think we're going to... I think we should warehouse milk up up here. Okay, right, so new rail line from Dortmund to there. Couple of trains. Warehouse, and in that warehouse, oh, we can't afford a warehouse at the minute. As soon as we can, we'll warehouse milk. Even if it's just for now. So there's some goods that we haven't currently got in the system, but which we're going to try and have to find a way to do it. So let's just pause the time for a minute. So improved working conditions. So we need, our next one is October and December 74. So it gives us a bit of time here. We need to deliver 16 loads of tools from the Birches land, which is this one here, which is a concession of 1 million. And we've got tools already down here. So that's going to be our next port of call for progress. We need to deliver 40 loads of steel to Essen. And we need to deliver 16 loads of canned food from over here as well, which is 864, which we've got copper wire there, but there's only two. There's only actually 2 cities here, guys, so one of them has to be canned food. So it might be worth us buying that copper wire factory and getting rid of that in the very near future, because I think copper wire is going to work better up here, guys, for the very simple fact that we've got copper there, we've now got coke there. So to do a copper wire factory, we need coke and copper. So that initially gives us that straight away, and then the goods from that can move down to there. So we'll figure out some sort of train line connecting them as well, guys. So that really does open that all up for us. So we do need to start looking at increasing our steel production. So let's just have a look at how much a steel factory is to upgrade. 500,000. So that's something we need to look at, and we also need to get the residual stuff from there to make, I think we need it all the way over there to help make chemicals. So we've got a real challenge on our hands to get stuff moving, but I don't think it's necessarily impossible. So let's get pressing play, let's get some money behind us, and let's think about heading to our new concessions. So this is, yeah, copper wire is going to go up here, guys. We've got beans there as well. Could we use an extra train station there for beans? Yeah, probably that would help. Is it worth purchasing the milk? Do you know what? Yeah, why not? Okay, cool. Right. So we've now got an express line between there and there, haven't we? We've got a lot of trains up on here, though, that are blocking up, unfortunately. And that's because they're all using this supply tower. So, could be worth just to open up the lines a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just change the Essen to Bochum line to run down these new lines that I've just created. Okay. And then we want that to run up the middle one there. We don't want everything clogging up that line. Okay, good. So how are we looking here? So we've now got opportunity to run 4 lines down to Witten as well. Like I said, money's now starting to get good, guys, so the only problem we're going to have is these gridirons. we should now be able to pretty much run that all the way. Saying it's too close to another line somewhere, so something's affecting it. So for now, we'll just do it with the 2 lines, and let's see what we can do here. Realistically, we need to see the 6 lines being able to be done if we're going to get if we want to run a train from Castrop Rochdale all the way down. Now, it might be that we just have to start looking at thinking about buying this guy out so that we can get rid of his lines. So to buy 20% is 1 million, which means it's going to be a 5 million purchase. It's possible though. And he's just gone down there as well. So yeah, I suppose even if we just do for now 2 tracks and start getting that growing, that's better than nothing. Bochum's definitely growing, that's brilliant. Essen isn't growing at the minute, so we need to think about how we're going to make that grow. Definitely needs clothes, it needs cheese, it needs dresses, it needs toilet roll, it needs steel. And if we want to be getting steel filings moving from there, that's another. Yeah, we need to see what's going on here with our steel factory. Because we don't seem to be producing a lot of steel. Yeah, that's constantly making. let's just put one single train that runs. Let's see if that will just help with the coke production. Because the pig iron's doing okay. So it might be that we just have to change this to a goods line. Right, let's see if that helps anything at all. That's growing nicely, so that's what we wanted to see. So we've got the 3 loads of steel. We've still got 2 years to get the tools done. The 40 loads of steel have started as well. So, good stuff. What we're going to do, guys, here is just save up to about 5 million. And I think we could then start looking at purchasing his railway. If we get his railway out of my way, and let's face it, at this rate, it's not going to take long. Get his railway out of my way, or then we can look at getting other businesses as well. I mean, let's face it, if we can get Botcham up to a nice sort of 90,000 people, we can put cloth there, which is really going to help. Because Essen will need cloth. In fact, they'll all need cloth, but that is our sort of like major thing that's missing. So let's what shall we do? What shall we do? Let's just see how this now is going. That seems to be a lot better now that we've got 2 trains dedicated just to moving coal. I'd rather it just brought goods back. That's why I've got an express route. So let's make a save and then save up to 5 million. Okay, with 5 million now racked up, I have put a temporary business there as well, and I have just increased the size of our coke factory down here, and just increase the amount of trains bringing coal down there too. This is a way of just trying to see what we can do here. Where's that old castle? We need to put a station there. Right. There's no saying that we shouldn't actually just put copper wire there. That's ideal, to be fair. And then we could look at other things as and where. But the first thing I want to do, guys, now I've saved 2 million, is get rid of this one. I presume it's this one because it's Dortmund Railway. So let's see. So 20 shares is currently sitting at 9.55. So potentially with 5 million, it's going to cost me 6.5 million. So I tell you what, let's get rid of this one first. Let's use this money wisely and get rid. Merge, liquidate everything. And we get back up to 3.5 million. So, not kind of what I wanted to do. Not necessarily what I wanted to do, but it has really cleaned this up. And we can now look at maybe moving this milk. This really cleaned up that for us. And then we can start getting rid of this one as well. Right, so while we're waiting then, well, we've already got down to Witten. So let's see what task needs to be done first. So 74 and 75 for the canned food. So let's go for this one and let's get this in play. So we've got Hattingdon here. So we can get that connected to Bottram via this station. That's a nice easy connection there. But then also Hattingdon we can get connected to Essen over here. This is where we're going to start putting our new station in and getting them linked up like that as well. So let's start with a new station there like that, and then we're going to connect that. We'll take that line. We do want to make it as cheap as possible. Don't need to be spending more than it needs to be fair, guys. It's absolutely unnecessary, but it is worth a good connection bonus. So that's all good. So let's start as we mean to go on. A nice 4 connection with the potential to look for an 8 connection a little bit later if absolutely necessary. But I don't think the 8 connection will be needed. And once we slowly creep up to the 6 million mark, that's when we'll start. We'll start looking at buying that other. Oh, we don't need minimum of 8 wagons. No, we don't. What am I doing? Let's start making it a little bit more faster trains now as well, and eventually the other thing we'll do is then of course just start changing the trains altogether. So then what I'm thinking here is to connect via Essen. Like I said, we'll put a new train station in. And we'll face it we'll face it that way. Okay, right, and I'm going to call that one Essen Main. So we're going to run, again, we'll run lines like that. But what we're going to do here is allow that to just kind of feed against that there like that. Circle it around, follow the track around. To stay free of bridges and tunnels if absolutely necessary. Kind of then just link it up with that and into the station. Like that. So what we'll do then, of course, is the 4 lines. We'll do the same 4 sort of length of lines here out. This is where train stations start getting pretty expensive. And then get that follow up to there like that. There we go. And then that connects like so. And it is very jumpy on the PS4. We've said that before. Let's see what we can get. Can we get the 8? We can get the 8. Right, brilliant. Okay. And then from here, we'll do the same. Like that. But there's one more thing I want to do, and that is see if I can somehow stretch that track to also kind of conjoin with that one. So that we can put a new rail line that goes from Essen to Hattingdon, but we just do that with freight, and we'll put it's quite a distance, so we'll do that with three trains. How many trains have we got running on here now? So how about we increase that to 4 now? So now we've got a new station in Essen, and we've started connecting up to Hattingdon. So from here we then need to progress further south. And I'm just trying to see what we've got going on here. So Witten, we need to get, if we're going to get Witten connected properly, we need to get rid of his targets there. So Wuppertal has got Cloth, which is brilliant, because then we can start getting Cloth up to Essen as well. And I'm kind of thinking here, guys, we could do a giant sort of circle here that's going to connect So what I'm thinking here is we're going to actually get rid of that loop there for now. That train will be absolutely fine. Gone from there for now. It'll be absolutely fine. Oh, look. Oh, okay. So let's get a place marker there as well for now, guys. Just until we know what we want to do. Let's slow down time a little bit. We're going a little bit too quick, I think, because we've got a lot of work to do here. So we're going to purchase that, and we've got a real big amount of work to do here. Yeah, quite a bit of work to do here, guys, if we want to get this working and working well. So we're going to go through this station here, and that's looking really kind of mountainous, isn't it? Not looking too tasty at all. Let's just have a look. It's not looking tasty at all, that one. We'll have to put it there at the top of the mountain, I think. Okay, so let's go. Let's think. We've got goods to the left here. So I think we should leave two. Do we to leave 2 lines for goods? Let's leave 2 lines for goods, and then let's go. We want to be connecting that. So let's toggle these contours for a minute, because this is going to be quite a difficult looking complicated line, because I don't want to be spending an absolute fortune on track, if I'm completely honest. And some of it I'm not going to get away with, I wouldn't think. Okay, so we'll go with that. And I think if we go from the this one on this side, and do 4 lines that way. Okay, right. So that now gives us a connection from there to there. So in Whooperall, we're here. We can do a warehouse. We've got the opportunity for another train station here as well. We'll start getting the lines running in a minute. For now, we're just going to get these connections going and figure out then what the best course of action to do will be. I'm going to do the 2 lines for now because I think that will be potential for a freight line, etc. as well. We'll see. We'll see how I want to play it. We'll see how I want to play this. In fact, I know what I want to do here, guys. We're going to do that like that. And then, because by the looks of it, we've only got kind of wood to come in via that line. We'll do just a single line. And much like we've done in the other keep it as less money as possible. We'll then allow it to circle around and just rejoin back up. Just have to kind of deal with that to a degree. So let's just finish what we were doing here. We might as well make it right and right first sort of time, guys. Now that the money's really flowing, let's make it right first time. Okay, right, and let's make sure we've got a few supply towers along the way. Right, okay, so that to there. And let's put maintenance depot there. We obviously want to get that connected up as well. So we've got that line connected between Hattenden and Bochum. That's done. We've got that line connected between Hattenden and Essen. Now that's just goods at the minute, isn't it? So that will increase. So then we want a warehouse here. So let's get maintenance depot and a warehouse with at least wood in it for now. So let's do a new rail line from there to there. Okay, right. So what else do we need to get here? So for now, just one line in there. Nice and easy, right? So then we need to start looking at how we're going to get our steel from there down to here to make tools. So I'm thinking that we need to potentially continue on around here to there. So that's dresses. What's that? That's beer. That's not really a massive issue. That's cheese. Ooh, cheese. So, but we also need to be looking into the future and know that we've got to have concrete as well. Right, so to make that, we need coke, filings, and so what we need to do is send a train from there to there, and that just needs to be iron filings or whatever it is. Oh, botchums. Okay, let's put another place marker in there for now. Like I said, everything's going dead quick now. Okay, so we've now got that connected. And that connected. Right, so what trains have we got running between here and here? Anything at the moment? Nothing. So let's get a train running. 2 trains running between there and there. That will get people moving there now as well. Right, so we have got the opportunity here for a couple of new businesses. Now, we've got a great place here in Bochum to put potentially cloth, which would really help. Let's just pause it a second and think. So we know that we need to get tools from down there, and we need to have canned food from over there. There's 40 loads of steel will doing it by itself. So then we need explosives. We need explosives, which we're going to put down here. So we know that's fine. So explosives there. We need copper wire. Now I think copper wire would be great there because we've got copper here. And we've also obviously got the Coke factory there, which, to be fair, we could do with upgrading. So that would then allow copper wire to be made there, and then the goods to be transferred to there. So that would allow us to do the explosives. We then need to be looking just a little bit further afield, although you can't see it on here at the minute. Oh, you can see it on here. Supply town via the warehouse in Hallingus, which is this one here, with cement. So we need to be making cement down there. And to make cement, we need the remnants of steel, so that's obviously up there, and we also need that, and we need that. So ideally, somewhere like here is a cracking place to put our concrete plant. So that's something to think about. So I reckon that we do go ahead and put our, let's put our copper wire plant here. Okay, so we can put that there. And then let's go with, that's quite simple actually, we'll just run the train straight through here. Not at that price, obviously. And being that it's probably not going to need 2 trains running at any one point, we'll remove the track point there. Nice and easy. Like that. And then what we'll do is we'll put a third siding here. So that this train can sit on line number 3, and it just goes with a minimum of 4. Okay, right. So then we can start running a train from there to there. And that goes with a minimum of 4. Let's go with that. Okay, right. So that's good. So we've now got our copper plant there. I'm thinking realistically cloth here, because we've got this nice easy nice, easy cloth looking situation here. And we can just run that straight in via that. And what that does, it just helps us get cloth into the system really quickly. So then we can go, let's go and switch industry and put cloth there. Brilliant. And then let's just put one train on for now, and we can sort that. What's happened there? Okay, for some reason it went completely empty. Okay, right. Okay, so what we're going to want here, I think, is at least 4 lines. If we're going to be running, if we want, we could be running goods to here. I think a 4 line is probably what's going to be needed, guys. We want to be making sure that we're not getting goods and express mixed on this one. And then from there, what we want to do, I think, is get this connected to this terminal here, and then that to Mulheim, but also to Essen over there. And then we need to figure out how we're going to get. We'll probably put, if we put steel, we need to, what we're going to have to do actually is run a train. We're probably going to have to increase this to take the extra tracks, and then we can run a train that will come out the other side. Actually, we don't even need to do that. Just had a thought then we can do. We can increase the lines like that. Cool. And we've got again potential for something else here as well. So whether that is cheese, we could put cheese here, and then that would allow cheese to come into the system too. I think that would probably be a really cracking place for that. So let's have a look at the train that's coming. I said that to be like 3 trains. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good shout there, guys. So we need to start looking at getting extra trains running and make this area really grow. So from here to here, and then from here we're going to both go into there, and then that way up towards Essen. Okay, cool. I think we've got a plan here now, guys. So Currently 74. We've got 2 years to get these tools moving. So I want to see enough money in the bank now to get rid of him, realistically. And then I want to be able to increase all the businesses and start getting more and more goods being made. Yeah, I think that's a really strong sort of plan to get this working and moving. Right, so we've got 4 lines coming out of here. Let's continue these 4 lines. I'm going to keep that money growing at this time as well. And we're going to run into 4 lines in here. Okay. Right, so with that now in position, guys, we can finish. I think we should finish this part of the video. So join me in part 4 when we're going to keep pushing to get this scenario finished. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care. Bye bye.